Cannabis, which has been falling as the CEO steps down due to sweeping cost-cutting plan that is also announced. There's an article that was posted today on MarketWatch by reporter Claudia Assis. Says here, Aurora Cannabis Inc.'s said Chief Executive Officer Terry Booth is retiring amid sweeping changes for the Canadian licensed producer, the latest pot company to cut costs amid a cash crunch in the sector. Aurora outlined a business transformation plan in a lengthy statement that detailed job cuts and large cuts in the valuation of some assets that the company expects to recognize when it reports fiscal second quarter 2020 results in February. Aurora's U.S. listed shares ACB down 15.05%, fell more than 16% in pre-market trade Friday, tracking their late Thursday losses, which came after being halted for news Thursday afternoon, while down 5.6% to 267 Canadian or $2 US. The company said it had eliminated about 500 full-time positions, or roughly 17% to 18% of its workforce. Aurora said in September it had 2,779 employees as of the end of June 2019 and had grown to 3,000 workers into the fall. Aurora plans to record asset impairment charges of 190 million Canadian to 225 million and write-downs of Canadian 740 million to 775 million, and said it would bring capital expenditures under 100 million for fiscal 2020. Aurora also detailed preliminary second quarter fiscal 2020 financial results, saying it expects cannabis revenues between Canadian 62 million and Canadian 66 million for the quarter, net of excise taxes. That would be a sequential decline from net cannabis revenue of 70.8 million. Analysts on average were expecting total net revenue of 78.8 million. According to FactSet. So they're falling well below analyst estimates. Well below the analyst estimates. Now, how does this affect the stock? What do you guys think? Do you think the stock is a buy right now, or do you think it's going lower? I'd love to know your guys' opinion on Aurora Cannabis. I know that they are one of the most heavily purchased cannabis company in the world. And I'd love to know your guys' opinion. Hey, Rain, how you doing? Hey, Jim. Goopdam, how you doing? Silvadam, how you doing? Anthony Alvarez, hey, Rich, how you doing, brother? Waiting for the next coronavirus video. Yeah, you know what? I'm just trying to keep you guys updated on what's going on there. As soon as there's anything substantial that needs to be reported, I'll definitely let you know. K Sav says, I sold it before the announcement for $2 and put it towards Dogecoin and made out decent and sold for a profit last night. Good work. K Sav says, my wife's from Ottawa. Nice. What's up, Angel? Matt says, I effing hate ACB. K-Sav says, ditch, ditch, ditch. Internet Thug TV says $1. Rusty Smith says, I'm so underwater in ACB. Cherry says, hey, Rich, hold on to Aurora and don't buy more. What's up, Cherry? Hope you're doing well. How's your weekend going? Rain Band says, I couldn't sell my loss as of now. Sheldon Snow says, Corona is overdone. Number of cases declining. Buy ACB after the next dip. So you believe there will be one more dip? Kenitha Grant says, not selling for a loss. Beef says, buy the dip ACB. Rain Bun says, I'm so done with cannabis stock. Rain, thank you for being a member of the Rich TV Live community. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Rusty says, like bought at 1050 or something, gotta say and live in hope. Gotta stay and live in hope. Beef says average down. Robert Restrepo says have to hold on ACB. DJ Wildcat says buy when everybody is fearful. Sheldon Snow says absolutely you can't write down 1 billion and not get a dip. They are now under promising and will over deliver. I hope you're right, Sheldon. And I think you will be right. The question is where is the bottom? Because when we do find the bottom, that could be an amazing opportunity. I believe it could go lower because there's a lot of negative pressure right now. Regarding the charges and write-downs, Aurora said that thanks to slower growth for pod companies and current cannabis market conditions, it reviewed all business operations and concluded that certain assets and goodwill values as of December 31st, 2019 exceeded current fair market valuations. Following these non-cash charges, Aurora expects to remain compliant with its revised total debt to equity covenant going forward, it said. Aurora Chief Financial Officer Glenn Ibbott said in a statement that the assets impaired are primarily in South America and Denmark. And the company's core Canadian cannabis assets are not impacted by these non-cash asset impairment charges. The company said it would focus on core areas such as the Canadian consumer market, the Canadian medical marijuana market, established international medical markets, and U.S. market initiatives. That statement and the write-down suggest that Aurora will largely give up on international ambitions beyond the U.S. The company has established operations in Europe and South America. We believe that the long-term opportunity for Aurora remains very compelling, despite a slower than anticipated rate of industry growth in the near term, Ibbott said. We also believe our approach to rationalizing the business and conservatively improving our balance sheet positions Aurora in a more stable position for sustainable growth going forward. And hopefully that's the case for all of us. And remember, I am a shareholder of Aurora Cannabis. Aurora said it expects record provisions for returns, price reductions, and future provisions of approximately Canadian 12 million, almost all of which relates to products sold in previous quarters. Aurora said it expects to keep expenses between 40 million Canadian and 45 million a quarter by the end of fiscal fourth quarter 2020. Aurora is expected to report full fiscal second quarter results on February 13th, which could lead to further drop in price because it just depends on what they report. If they report 62 million, that's pretty bad. If they report 66 million, which they're saying, that's not that great either. If they do higher, maybe it goes up, but we'll have to see. The news of Booth's departure came less than 2 months after the company announced the departure of Chief Commercial Officer Cam Bately, the man widely viewed as the face of the company and a potential successor to Booth. Booth will remain a strategic advisor to the board, and a search for a permanent successor is underway. Aurora said in a statement, 2 independent directors will join Aurora's board for a total of 10 members, including 7 independents, it said. Severance and other one-time charges related to the cost cutting are expected to range between 2 million and 4 million Canadian, to be mostly incurred by fiscal second and third quarters, Aurora said. These combined changes are consistent with and evidence of Aurora's commitment to achieving positive EBITDA and cash flow as rapidly as possible, while still maintaining the ability to capitalize on longer-term Canadian and global cannabis market opportunities, the company said. Aurora has lost 74% of its value in the past 12 months after repeatedly failing to meet its own financial targets. Analyst downgrades, a controversial convertible bond exchange that was highly diluted for shareholders, and reports of insider selling that have further weighed on sentiment. A lot of reasons why the stock is down. Don't forget, Andrew Left messaged me a few months ago saying they were going to zero. Jefferies analyst Owen Bennett downgraded the stock to hold from buy after Bately's departure and said the company has lost the trust of investors after repeatedly promising one course of action and then immediately choosing another. Like its rivals, Aurora has struggled to become profitable following a rocky rollout for legal cannabis in Canada, with red tape hampering the creation of a network of retail stores and allowing the black market to thrive. With companies unable to get their products to customers, revenue numbers have disappointed investors and cash piles have dwindled, forcing companies into some desperate measures to raise capital. Many have resorted to measures such as the sale and leasebacks of real estate, or have canceled or revised the terms of previously agreed deals. The job cut news comes just days after rival Tilray Inc. said it was laying off 10% of its workforce, a move that Bennett welcomed on Thursday. Both companies have relatively clouded paths to profitability right now, very large operational footprints, a history of aggressive investments, and will likely need to raise capital in the near future, in our view. Bennett and Jefferies analyst Ryan Tompkins wrote in a note to clients. With many factors impacting sales, gross margins, arguably less able to be controlled, OPEX, operating expense rigor, can be a key to profitability. Boost's departure is yet another management shakeup in the sector, coming after Canopy Growth terminated Bruce Linton, and former CEO Vic Neufeld was forced to step down from Aphria. So the top three Canadian cannabis LPs, Aurora Cannabis, Aphria, and Canopy Growth Corp, have now all terminated or seen the CEOs resign. All the founders of the three biggest companies in the cannabis sector, the three largest LPs since day one in Canada, Aurora Cannabis, Aphria, and Canopy Growth Corp, are all now gone. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that this is a buy for Aurora now, or do you think Aurora goes down from here? Love to know what you guys think. Sheldon Snow says hype is gone. Buy profitable companies, Valens Labs, LHS, Trulieve. I like the way you're thinking. Very smart. Sheldon Snow says, wait for Valens and Labs to report. You will all be kicking yourself for not listening. Wait for dips and buy. Humble says, money-losing companies don't survive. Sheldon Snow says, Valens Labs making bank. Humble R says, CEOs don't leave if stock price was going to go 10x in the next 3 to 5 years. Humble says, the CEOs made their gains and now they made out like bandits. Yeah, it's true. Internet Thug TV says it goes down. Sheldon Snow says ACB will definitely go down. Sheldon Snow says then buy. So what is the bottom? What do you guys think is the bottom? Thank you guys for your 24 likes. I appreciate you guys. It really helps this video go viral so that we can have more people join us and they can join the conversation and give us their opinion. I want to see what the room thinks. If we get a better idea of what people think, then that gives us a better idea of where the stock is going to go. If we all think that it's going to go down, chances are it's going to go down because that's what the sentiment is. Remember, the stock market is supply and demand, buying and selling. If everybody's sitting here thinking selling, it's probably going to go down. If everybody's here sitting here thinking buying, it's probably going to go up. This is why it's important for us as a community to share our opinions and our beliefs and get a better idea of what the others are thinking so we can get a better gauge of where the stock can go. And if you do think it's going to go down, how much lower do you think it can go down? Because it's already really low. Some people are saying it's going to go down to as low as $1. Sheldon Snow believes this is great news. He feels that they are righting the ship. Whacker Beat says, still in shock after that news drop and god-awful conference call on Friday. I hope they are just really, really, really lowballing expectations, which might be the right strategy right now. I don't know. I honestly, that conference call was terrible, and I honestly don't know what to think. Thank you for the 31 likes, by the way, guys. I really appreciate it. Sheldon Snow says, leaner, meaner with eyes on profitability. I hope you're right. Sherry Levy says IIPR. Yeah, I like that IIPR, Sherry. Love how you're thinking. Just added you as a moderator, Sherry. Thank you for all your support for all these years. Amazing, amazing, amazing member of the community since almost day one. She's been here. Humble says either the execution by management was very poor or Canada has no future prospects for MJ companies. It's a combination of both. I love you too, Sherry. Sheldon Snow says under promising finally and will over deliver. I really hope you're right, man. I don't think we can continue to see them under deliver. If they report some crazy number like 52 million, oh man, they're going to tank. Whacker Beat says because they didn't sound confident. I felt the same way. I thought that conference call was terrible. Why even have a conference call if you're going to sound like scared and afraid? It's kind of a lame duck job, right? You're replacing a CEO that just got fired, run out of town. It's kind of a lame duck job because it's very few people that are going to be able to turn that around. So you're going into a very high pressure situation. And these CEOs are feeling a lot of pressure, guys. You have to understand. Share Bear says sell. This is going to be a tough recovery. Buy back when it hits 10 cents. 10 cents? Ika Bud says, Rich, I can see you are still upset about Friday's conference call. Everything will be fine. Craft. Hope you're right, man. I thought the conference call was terrible. Rusty Smith says Peltz probably shorted the stock. Sheldon Snow says they are doing the opposite of what they always did. Overpromise. When they turn it around, it will explode. I think you're right. The question is, how much lower will it go? What do you think, Sheldon? Sherry says IIPR doesn't grow or sell marijuana. Either does GRWG, Grow Generation Corp, which has been climbing, guys, very quietly and secretly, and is also on the NASDAQ. Grow Generation Corp doesn't touch the plant, and I believe that they have great future. R Star says bad conference call too. When they hit 50 cents, I will start buying if the story starts changing. Sheldon Snow says $1.88 Canadian. So is that your buying entry? Anthony Ray says on the conference call, there were so many bad questions. It's just the same questions over and over again. Dennis Smith says, I think ACB will eventually rebound. It will definitely go below a US dollar. It was a pretty big, but I sold, but we'll definitely buy back in. I say the low will be 70 cents. Wow. Five Finger Limited says more dilution coming. Sherry Levy says IIPR is real estate. Humble says, hey, Rich, what's your opinion on Peltz? Do you think he will buy out Aurora? I don't know. It's a good question. Buyout or bailout or both? I believe New York City is very promising for the U.S. market. Thank you guys for the 36 likes. I really appreciate it, guys. Rain Band says, like you said, Rich, diversify, diversify, diversify. It's the key to success if we're going to win. Thank you guys for the 39 likes. I appreciate you guys. We got 90 people here, 39 likes. Let's see if we can hit 100 likes. Angela Rivas says Pentagon reopening bases for CDC quarantine with orders given now by government for depopulation. Scott Norris says $1.50. More retail stores coming. R Star says, sorry to be harsh, but really, we need to see the story change. Currently, it is so bad for ACB. Yeah, it's been terrible. Thank you guys for the 44 likes. I really appreciate it. I'm humbled. Steven is asking, somebody explain what a reverse split is. Okay, so a reverse split. You've got a billion shares, you got a $1 stock. It's a great example is Aurora. A billion shares, a $1 stock. What they're going to do is they're going to reverse and they're going to get a $10 stock with 100 million shares. If you had 1,000 shares at $1, now you're going to have 100 shares at $10. That's a reverse split. So it reduces dilution. So instead of Aurora having 1.1 billion shares, they'd have like 110 million shares, which is much more manageable, which helps you reduce the amount of selling pressure and also increases your share price artificially. So you go from having a $1 stock price to a $10 stock price. Now at a $10 stock price with less dilution, it's easier for you to go out there and raise capital. It's easier for you to go out there and move forward with your business plan. That's why a lot of companies do it. However, it's not something that investors like because investors don't like to have their shares shrink. Investors want a lot of shares. So a lot of times what happens 99% of the time, especially with penny stocks, not necessarily with big boards, but with penny stocks, they go down after a reverse split because after the reverse split and once that shareholder realizes they just got reversed, a lot of times they're going to immediately sell their stock. And that's going to drive the stock price down. And then typically that's why people don't like a reverse split. Steven says, thanks for the knowledge, Rich. Always learning. Love what you do for the people. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your support. Thank you guys for your 47 likes. Whacker Beat says, I think the turnaround for these LPs will happen when more stores hit and other markets open up. I don't think it will be quick fix, 1 to 2 years. Question is, can ACB survive? I believe ACB will survive. The question is, how low will it go? I don't think there'll be any question about them surviving. It's just about how low they will go. Thank you guys for your 50 likes. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It allows the video to get more visible on YouTube for more people to find us so that they can join the conversation. So we can have a intelligent conversation with members from all over the world. And you guys are welcome to be a part of this. So please join the chat. Let me know your opinions. I'll try to read as many as I can. And the goal and the question here is Aurora Cannabis a buy or sell for you right now? From what I'm getting seems to me everyone is saying it's going lower so far. Does anybody think it's like short term? I believe everybody here thinks it's going lower. Is that correct? Does anybody think it goes up tomorrow? How can you invest in the boring company? What do you mean by that? What's the boring company? Cedric Landrieu said short term lower, long term sky. I agree with that sentiment. I really do. Apoli Kakinen says lower for sure. So are you guys shorting Aurora or buying puts? Elon's tunnel drilling company equals boring. Wow. I guess it's pre-IPO, so we'd have to wait until it IPOs unless we know somebody. I mean, I know Invest the Millennial works for Tesla, so if she gets wind of anything, I'll definitely let you guys know. That's pretty cool. Tunnels, underground tunnels connecting big cities in the USA. That's crazy. I don't really like to cover the virus. It's not something I really enjoy doing, but I think it's important, and that's why I'm doing it, even though I don't really want to, because I don't like talking about death. I don't enjoy it. It's not something I like doing. I didn't enjoy covering the Kobe story. Um, I'd rather cover, the Toronto Raptors winning 14 games in a row. To me, that's more exciting. Like, that's entertainment and it's good news as opposed to bad news. But typically, when you're reporting on news, it's not always going to be good. That's one thing I've definitely been learning. Sheldon Snow says Elon is also putting constellation of satellites for worldwide high-speed internet. I'm telling you, Elon's changing the world, man. That guy's a genius. JT says, I'm going to buy put options on CGC for earnings. Okay, thank you for your feedback. And that's what I want to do here, guys. Like, if you're going to buy or sell something, please let us know. And other people can give you their feedback and let you know whether they agree or disagree with that decision. Hopefully, we create a platform here where people can get investment opinions before they actually make an investment. Cedric Landrew says we will have Panic Sellers for sure tomorrow with the quarterly reports. Just hold and be patient. Trust in Pelts. Sheldon Snow says, yep, put will do well. CGC is going down. And what makes you guys think CGC is going down? Is that because there's a short report coming out on them? Anthony Ray says, Rich, I thought ACB edibles are selling out like hotcakes. They are. That's the part that's really disturbing. Why is their revenue going down? I don't know why the revenue is going down, and it's disturbing me. It's making me wonder if they were cooking their books, like some have suggested. And I've heard a lot of whispers on the street. Keo Cushion Trader says Elon also wants to put computer in our brains. Genius. Computers in our brains? That's intense. Sheldon Snow says the revenue sucks, profit margin sucks, and cost per gram sucks. Sheldon Snow says ACB is under promising. Keo Cushion Trader says, or mad genius. I don't know. I think that remains to be seen. Cedric Landrew says the edibles will only show in the reports by the end of 2020. The next 2 or 3 quarters will be bad. Be ready for it. Steven Plustois says Wi-Fi green tomorrow tech stocks. I like that Wi-Fi. I like that 5G company. Definitely a good company to watch. Josh Cook says the only thing I'm afraid of with ACB is a reverse split. And that's the funny part is how come nobody has ever asked Aurora for a reverse split? How come nobody ever asked if they're planning to do a reverse split? Shouldn't that be the first question that these companies are asking? Why are they not asking? Sheldon Snow says stocks of the future, Space, CRISPR, Uber, Mad Bank. I like Space and I like Uber. I'm not familiar with CRISPR. Who's CRISPR? Do I smoke pot? Nah, come on. Me? Josh Cook says TBP, put it on your radar. Yeah, I like TBP. FDA approval coming. Sheldon Snow says CRISPR equals gene editing. Wow, that is crazy. Fat Nut says some positive news. Chiron Life Science approved to ship products to Brazil. Thank you for breaking that news. Thank you guys for your 55 likes. I appreciate it. Kev Z says run away fast. So you're running from ACB? Stephen Lee says, hey, Rich, I'm really deeply down in ACB. Should I sell and rebuy at a lower price? It's hard for me to tell you guys to do that. I'm not sure. Honestly, don't know. I don't know. I think ACB is going to be okay, but right now I think they look pretty bad and they're going to go down. So I don't know how low they're going to go, but it doesn't look good. I will, Sheldon. Thank you for CRISPR. I'll look into it. Wow. So Brent Jaggers is saying CRISPR is gene editing. If you want your baby to have blue eyes and blonde hair, you can do that with CRISPR. What? That's crazy. Yes, I do invest in Bitcoin. I'm very familiar with Ripple. Our star says we need a talented CEO in Aurora plus profits plus blue chips partnership. Yes, I'm still holding my Aurora and I want to buy more. The question is when? Does anybody think that they've hit the bottom or do you guys think it goes higher from here or lower? Most people sounding like they believe it's going to go lower short term, but long term, it has a chance to explode. Search says hold long term. Robert Restrepo says, is CanTrust being delisted? They're getting very close. They're running out of time. Dan says CGC and Kron have billions to back them. They will survive tough times until profitable. Hopefully they get profitable soon or they're going to run out of money too if they keep losing money. Cedric Landrieu says Nelson Peltz would never have entered ACB if he didn't see the potential in this company. I'm from Belgium, and even here, people have heard of ACB. That tells you enough branding. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they are too big to fail. The question is, why are they failing so miserably? And will they continue to fail? Or will they turn this around? Pete Ferraro says Aurora management was horrible. Miroslav Rega says, I think Ripple will be a great company to invest in and XRP the asset. Search says SPCE to 40 USD. You think Search? By when? Miroslav says, I think ACB will be $1,000 in 2023. I think that that's very unlikely at this point, but you never know. Pete says, do you think CanTrust will get their license back? I do, but they don't have it yet, so it's getting scary. Sheldon Snow says, Chrono will not run out of money. CGC definitely can. Mr. Baz says, hey, Rich, do you think ACB will reverse split if the price stays above a US dollar? I think it's possible. That's why I'm shocked that nobody's asking. Josh Cook says if ACB skyrockets on earnings, that's when you sell. Never sell after terrible news. Hold and average down. My thing is sell when you see profits. When you see profits, take them and run. That's been my thing since 2017. That's been my strategy since day one. When you see profits, take it and run. And I think that as investors, that's the best way to do it. When you see profits, take it and run. Take the money and run. Take the money when you see the money. Miroslav says, I see ACB be $1.20 in a few days. That's the best time to buy ACB. Is very company, I think. They will burst in the springtime and summer. I think that's very possible. And that's the beauty of having these discussions is I'd love to know how everybody else is thinking and what prices you guys would be buying them at, if you would be buying them at all. And from the sentiment from this conversation, almost 100 people, I think we can see that almost everybody believes they're going to go down, but eventually they're going to go back up. So that could create an amazing buying opportunity. Wow, we have 101 people here, 59 likes. Sorry, 62 likes now. Thank you guys for your 62 likes. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm humbled. Thank you for joining me on your Sunday. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen in the market tomorrow. Cannabis sector is the lowest we've seen since 2017. It's just been decimated. Typically, when you get to these levels, you're going to see a bounce back because we're hitting the bottom. People are going to look at it as a buying opportunity and they're going to start to buy the stocks. How many of you guys think that the market will be up tomorrow? How many of you guys think that Aurora is going to be up tomorrow? How many of you think that Aurora is going to go down tomorrow? Most people are saying that Aurora will go lower. Does anybody here think that Aurora goes up tomorrow? Did I look at a stock called Boss? Yes, I'm familiar with Boss. SPCE to $40 would be huge. That would be really, really exciting because that's a great play. Mr. Liu says we could have predicted this. Cam fired, no sales in Germany. How could they sustain revenue? Well, clearly they haven't been able to. Sherry says Aurora will stay the same. Linda says heard they have less revenue because medical in Germany stopped. Sheldon Snow says SPCE will be like Tesla. Mark it on your calendar. It's already been like Tesla. It's already up 200%. So you guys think it goes even higher? Wow, Sheldon, you think that space goes up to 250 a share? Whew. Wow. Tony's got 1K of boss. Joseph says, remember when Tesla was saying they were watching every penny, including toilet paper? They have to do something drastic. Mr. Liu says focus on M&A, mergers and acquisitions, only buy stocks after positive earnings. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Sheldon Snow says SPCE will rise like Tesla in 1 year. That would be huge. Whacker Beat says the only positive was that ACB didn't continue to drop after a gap down Friday, indicating some strength. Good point. Cedric Landrieu says, don't forget, Aurora is the only big cannabis player that has no partner yet. What's the excuse of the other ones who have partnerships for the drops? Yo, what's up, Kendrick Lamar? NNC says green after earnings. That would be nice. Be nice to see some green, because we've seen a lot of red. Raymond says, with Alberta vape news and Doug Ford doing an announcement on cannabis tomorrow, we might see a green day. That would be nice. It would be welcomed. We've been waiting for some green for far too long. 10 months of red. Robert Restrepo says, I was averaging down on CGC at 23.20. Once it hit 14.80 and then went up to 25, which I decided to sell for a small profit. Take the money and run, my friend. Troy Welsh says, ACB still will fall a bit yet, I believe. So some of you guys think that they can go up on the Alberta vape news. I mean, considering they are in Alberta, that's possible. It's a good way of thinking. I mean, hopefully. I just don't know if they get past that terrible conference call. I just don't know how you get past it. That's unacceptable. A conference call like that is unacceptable. It was unacceptable. I don't understand it. I'll never understand why these companies do these calls. Calls are supposed to help you, not hurt you. I mean, just don't understand what they're thinking. Steven Pluswa says, I got no ACB, but like millions follow all the news, bleed a little more than enter. or if wrong, and if it goes up, just see if it can stabilize, in my opinion, but I feel more bleeding short term. Yeah, I think that's the sentiment that everybody's saying. Mr. Lou says Uber is a buy on dips. I'm very interested in Uber as well. I like the way you guys are thinking. Technology. Companies that are changing the world. Companies that are changing the world. Technology companies and companies that are changing the world. SPCE, Tesla, Uber. These are the types of stocks that have the potential to explode because they're different, they're authentic, they're unique. Everybody wants to get in. Everybody wants to find the next winner that's going to run. Everyone wants to find the next BYND. Everyone wants to find the next Tesla. Everybody wants to find the next SPCE. Alberto Ramos says SDC, Smile Direct Club, that's a triple. Miroslav says, I hope Coke partners with Aurora. I think that ship has sailed, don't you think? I'll never forget Ripple. No, I'm very familiar with Ripple and all cryptocurrencies. In fact, in my trading academy, I get paid in Bitcoin. I choose to get paid in Bitcoin because I like Bitcoin and I believe Bitcoin's going to go higher. And I've been telling everyone that Bitcoin's going to go higher, and they have been going higher ever since I said so. At 6,000, and now they're at 10,000. So congratulations to everybody that has taken advantage of that move in Bitcoin, up dramatically since I told you it would go up. No, I know Ripple's been doing big things for a long time, but they've also been going down for a long time. Yeah, Shopify's been in a crazy stock as well. Lufer Boom says, if I hear Coke one more time, oh boy. Yeah, the Coke lies. The Aurora Cannabis Coca-Cola lie. The big lie. The big Aurora Cannabis Coca-Cola lie. The big partnership lie that never happened. What a farce. No, I don't think Bitcoin is slow. Bitcoin is Bitcoin is the mothership. It's expensive because it's the coin that all the other coins are measured by. It's like 50% of the entire market cap of the cryptocurrency space. That tells you what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is the mothership. No other coin is like it. Bitcoin is the mothership. It's the coin that all other coins are measured by. Most coins, you have to buy Bitcoin first in a lot of exchanges just to even pair it with another coin. Bitcoin is the mothership, and it always will be. So many cryptocurrency enthusiasts don't talk well about Bitcoin and say that it's slow and it's old. And I'm like, Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that anybody even knows. And people don't even know what cryptocurrency is for the most part. They don't know how to use it, and they don't use it every day. I use it every day. I know what it is. I follow it. That's why I know that 99% of the world doesn't. Because when I talk to them about it, they look at me like I'm an alien. If you don't know how to use crypto, you don't know what crypto is. It's just one of those things that unless you do it, you don't understand it and you don't know it. You only know it and understand it when you do it. And then once you know it and understand it and you do it, you realize how simple and how amazing it is. That's the interesting thing about cryptocurrency. It's foreign to you until you do it. And then once you do it, you realize how powerful it is. And there is no cryptocurrency that will be bigger than Bitcoin, in my opinion. Well, there's a reason why Bitcoin's going to go higher. It's because of Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin has halved twice in its history, and the two times that Bitcoin has halved, it's gone up 10 times. Bitcoin is having for the third time in its history, May 18th. Because it's halving, when it was at 6,000, I came out, I did a video saying I believed it was going to explode. It's now ran from 6,000, and I believe I did that video in December. It was over the holidays, or maybe even November, right before the holidays. It was at 6,000 and now it's at over 10,000. I've also been talking to you guys about buying gold. Sheldon, yes, buy gold. Buy gold and hold. Buy gold, buy Bitcoin. And buy green gold, but only the best green gold. because not every single cannabis company is going to be a winner, clearly, because over the last 10 months, we've seen 10 months of losing in the cannabis sector, and only a handful of companies have gone up. Grow Generation Corp, Innovative Industrial Properties, GW Pharma, Scott's Miracle Grow, Valens Grow Works, Metafarm Labs, Medicine Man. A few have gone up, many have gone down. Most have gone down. Yeah, I like Ripple, but the problem with Ripple is just too many coins out. Whereas with Bitcoin, it's very tightly held. So it's a supply and demand issue. So Bitcoin has a small amount of Bitcoin out there, 20 million or so. So when you have 20 million coins out there for the whole world to share, your price is going to go higher. Supply and demand. Ripple's got way too many coins out there, which creates dilution, which drives the price down. Simple supply and demand. Very simple supply and demand. I like silver too. If gold goes up, silver goes up. I trade silver and gold through my trading academy. And if I'm betting that gold's going to go up, I usually bet that silver is going to go up because they go up together and they go down together. Whacker Beat says, I think the fact that none of these companies are doing well leads us to blame Health Canada. Look at Illinois killing it right now. Yeah, I think that the United States is doing a much better job than Canada. Health Canada has been pretty terrible. They've done a really good job of killing the sector. They should be really proud of themselves if that was their goal. They've achieved their goal of killing the sector completely, taking all the wind out of it, taking all the momentum out of it. Not too long ago, cannabis stocks were the only stocks people were talking about in Canada. Now everybody says run the other way. If that was their goal, they've achieved their goal. Very similar to what happened to Bitcoin. Bitcoin did the same thing. It went down for 13 months. Everybody's like losing money. Everybody's like, Bitcoin's the devil. It's a terrible investment. It sucks. It's been terrible. It's been horrible. Boom. Now Bitcoin goes from 3,000 to 10,000. Now it's one of the hottest things since sliced bread. And everybody wants to jump in Bitcoin again. Nobody wanted to buy Bitcoin when it was at 3,000. Now everybody's going to buy it at 10,000. Same thing's happening in the cannabis stocks. Right now, they're really, really low. Nobody wants to buy it. But the reality is, right now is the best time to buy it. Wendy Earl says, I believe I have never seen you this down, Rich. This sector is a huge disappointment. I think that this sector is a disappointment and it's not what I thought it was. Am I down? I mean, I'm down about the sector because it's not been what I wanted it to be for myself and for investors. I think that is a real honest feeling. I'm not going to sit here and be laughing and enjoying life and acting like things are great when the entire sector has been just decimated. I think that's disrespectful to everyone that's lost, including myself and my losses, which have been numerous on companies like Saniva, which has just scammed everybody, and Zenabis, which has been a massive loser for me and for everyone who bought it. So, it is what it is, but we'll recover. I'll recover. We all recover. I mean, that's life. It's just, how long do you continuously dump your money into something that isn't giving you and yielding you returns? I think it's important that as a community, myself included, we diversify. As much as we may be cannabis enthusiasts, we don't want to be cannabis enthusiasts to the point where we're losing money. That's not why we invest. We invest to make money. We do not invest to lose money. And my fear is that this sector has robbed us of our money because these companies are not making money. So what they're doing is they're selling stock to pay their bills. When they're selling stock to pay their bills, they're selling stock into us. They're retail investors. So they're using us as toilet paper. And they're printing shares and selling them to pay their bills, pay their employees, pay their accountants, pay their lawyers, pay themselves. And we get left holding the bag And that's not okay. And I don't feel good about that. Zenabis is now listed on Groupon. Hey, man, whatever it's going to take for Zenabis to do well, man. Because I got shares in Zenabis. I'm holding all my shares in Zenabis. I'm tired of them going down. So it would be really nice to see them go up. It's a joke. Yeah, I figured. But at the end of the day, people come on here and they talk about, oh, buy Zenabis and buy this and buy that. I just think that we have to be very careful when buying anything under $5. Anything in the stock market is risky, but anything under $5 is ultra risky. And anything under $5 is what I would consider a penny stock. So we all have to be very careful when we buy penny stocks, and we have to make sure that we're investing in the best because it's our money that we work very hard for. So let's not put it in harm's way. Let's invest in the best. The best is blessed, and that way we will bless our portfolios. If we invest in risky stocks that are under $5, there's always a chance we're going to lose. Pete Ferraro says, don't you think Zenabis can turn around? Of course I do. I own shares in the company. I just have lost trust in the company. As a shareholder, I've lost trust in the company because they've essentially hurt every single investor over the last year that has bought the stock. Cedric Landrieu says, what's a good number of shares to own for Aurora? I own 5,000 at the moment, bought about a month ago after observing the stock for over years. I think 5,000 is a huge amount. If that stock goes back to $10, which I believe they will one day, now you got 50 grand. So yeah, I like the way you're thinking. And I'm thinking the same thing. This is a really good time to start loading up on Aurora. But how low will they go? Pete Ferraro says, if CGC reports bad earnings, do you think the sector will go down if that happens? Yes. Yes. So we need to be careful. There's a lot of people that believe that the earnings will actually be pretty good, though. So we'll see. We've had 10 months of red. It's ridiculous. It can't go on forever. It won't go on forever. But the question is, when is it going to turn around? Considering we've had 10 months of down, when is it finally going to turn around? That's the $1,000,000 question. My phone's blowing up. When is the date of the hearing? Which hearing? Search says FCEL to $10, SPC to 40, Snap to 25, Uber to 45 USD. Not my own idea. It's from my group source who have given us Amazon from 800, Tilray from 60 to 250, Kron from 6 to 25 USD. Jacob says, I still believe in T-God, man. T-God's been another company that's been really struggling with money, guys, and they have no revenue to speak of. So it's been a massive disaster. The results for CGC are coming up this week. So I believe it's between the 12th and the 14th of February. Sherry says, I think analysts are rating ACB as a hold. It's possible. I think it goes lower before it goes up. The question is how low. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that could create an amazing buying opportunity. Jacob says, I'm holding my 10,000 shares, man. And I hope you win, Jacob. I don't want to see anybody here lose. I think there's a lot of good companies that we used to think were great, and now they're just terrible. So the question is, are they really terrible? Or is it just a terrible time in the sector? because so many companies have just been obliterated. So many. So many. Cedric Landrio says, I think ACB will be 35 Canadian by 2023. Right now, that seems very far fetched, but I hope you're right. But it just seems very far fetched right now. Yeah, the entire sector has been decimated, so it's just a really hard time for anybody to be positive or anybody to look at the positives in a sector that has been so beaten down for 10 months. Clearly, that's the best time to buy, but I mean, you could have been saying that for 10 months now and just losing and losing and losing. So, how long can you continue to wait for something to turn around? Cody Olson says, "Hold, I'm not selling." Sheldon Snow says, "You don't need to always make your money back in the same stock. Think about that." Cedric Landrio says, "All new sectors go through very lot of bumps in the start." Yeah, very good point. Serge says, "Rich, I want to thank you for sticking with us through the ups and downs. I really appreciate you, man. Someday we will be happy with cannabis someday." Oh yeah, I mean, I've been happy with cannabis in the past, just not happy with it right now. Bradley Germain says, considering how much regulation has to do with how badly the sector has done, any pot stock investor should realize just how bad government is and regulation, promote the free market. Great post. Sheldon Snow, great advice here. Don't chase bad companies. Make that money back somewhere else. Very smart advice. Pete Ferraro says the Ontario government is also responsible. They delayed stores. Exactly. And it's just making things worse. Dan says T God are in big financial troubles too. And that's why the stock has tanked. Greg says they made drastic changes that are only positive. If you were holding before, why sell now? Great question. I'm not suggesting anybody sell for a loss. The question is for me, because I'm holding and I'm not planning to sell my Aurora shares. My question is, at what price do we buy Aurora if we want to reposition ourselves in Aurora again or buy shares of Aurora again for the next run up, which we know is coming in the cannabis sector? What is the price to get in for Aurora right now? What is that price? That's really the question that I'm trying to figure out for myself, because I wouldn't mind just buying another 10,000 shares of Aurora and sitting on it, because that way, when it goes up to $10 one day, that's 100 grand. So, I mean, you're buying it for a buck or $2 and you hold that for even a couple years. And if it goes to $10, you just made yourself a killing. So I don't mind doing that trade. I'm just trying to determine where the bottom is. Mr. Bays 420 says another positive. One of the new board members was VP of Mondelez, which is tied to pelts. Yeah, so there's a lot of good things that are coming. There's no doubt about it. But the last couple of quarters have been really brutal for Aurora. Pete Ferraro says, Rich, did you make money in 2019 or lose? No, I made money in 2019, but I lost money in my cannabis investing. But overall, I've made money in 2019, just not in cannabis. Greg says Rich 2.0 sales aren't part of their financials yet. If you want to get in, I think it's sometime before next earnings. I agree with you. Hopefully, the numbers will be dramatically higher. It's just these last two quarters have been really disappointing. David Bunker thinks it'll go to 135 USD. Sheldon Snow says buy ACB under 2 Canadian. Tom James says Peltz is large and in charge. So do you think he's shorting it so that he could buy the company or something? I mean, there's a lot of people that are suggesting stuff like that. Thank you guys for the 84 likes, by the way. 85 likes, 15 away from our goal of 100. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it, and I'm humbled. 86 likes. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. Amazing community here. And you guys are part of the show. 90 likes now. Thank you guys. I'm humbled. You guys are part of the show here. You guys are part of the conversation. 93 likes. We're only 7 away from 100, guys. Thank you. You guys are part of the conversation here. Love to know what you guys think. Do you think Aurora goes higher? Do you think Aurora goes lower? Is it a buy? Is it a sell? 95 likes. 5 likes away from 100. And then I won't even talk about it anymore. Pancho says, hey, Rich, you keep wearing the don't panic hat and you are panicking over Corona. Just joking. I mean, everyone keeps saying I'm panicking. Am I panicking or am I just bringing you guys the news? I think I do a good job trying to bring you guys the truth. I have a guy from China, 99 likes, guys. One more like to hit 100. Who's going to be the 100th like? Thank you guys for the 99 likes. I'm humbled and I really appreciate it. On this Sunday, you guys joining me. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver. 104 likes. Wow. Thank you guys. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. No, I'm not panicking over the coronavirus. I believe I'm just trying to create awareness. And I have a member of the community that's a friend of mine that lives in China. And I'm going to be bringing him on the show so that you guys can actually ask questions of someone who's there and we can get to the bottom of the truth. I don't consider myself a panicker or a fear mongerer. I consider myself a truth seeker. I just want to know the truth. And I think that as people, we should be able to find out the truth. And media can report one thing, but I want to know from the people that are there, what do you see? What is the sentiment in China from the people that you're speaking to, the people that you see? What are the rules and regulations? And we found out yesterday, price of food is going up. People are not allowed to leave their homes. The government's telling people to stay inside. So this is what we're hearing. So directly from someone who's living there, it's important to be able to find the truth. And I feel grateful that we have this platform where we can share the truth. Steven says, I think Rich is a realist and brings news to all classes of investors and is non-biased. I try to be as non-biased as possible, even though sometimes I am biased, one side or the left or the right side. I'm trying to become as unbiased as possible and become a platform where we can talk about trending topics and try to break the biggest news of the day every day right here for the people and give you guys a platform to call in my show, to speak and be a part of the live chat, share ideas with each other, share stock picks live in real time and interactive with each other, share investment ideas live and interactive with each other, whether it's Forex, whether it's commodities, gold, silver, palladium, whether it's stocks, Tesla, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, whether it's cannabis stocks, Aurora Cannabis, Cannabis Growth, Afria, whether it's Forex trading like US versus Canadian pairing, whether it's cryptocurrency trading like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple. I want us as a community to be able to talk about it and benefit from it live and in real time. That's my idea. That's my concept. Sometimes we're going to talk stocks. Sometimes I'm going to be on the beach at my villa in the Dominican or, my home in Portugal, or I'll be, in the Cayman Islands and I'll be reporting from the beach. And sometimes I'll be at a conference reporting from a conference. Sometimes I'll be in a studio doing an interview with the CEO. But the goal here is to create awareness. That's the goal. Travis Anderson says, hey, Rich, are you excited? Bitcoin just broke 10K. Yeah, I own Bitcoin. And I also been talking to you guys about GBTC, which is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the number one Bitcoin stock in the world. And I've been talking to you guys about that. And on Monday, it's going to go up. Watch, because Bitcoin's up over the weekend. So on Monday, GBTC is going higher, guys. Get ready. It's going higher. Josh Cook says, panic selling hurt me in 2017. Not going to do it again. I think that's part of investing, is just learning how to handle your emotions, learning how to handle winning, learning how to handle losing, what to do when you're up, what to do when you're down. This is all part of just learning how to become a better trader. And every single day is a day to reinvent yourself, is a day to improve yourself as a trader. And I truly believe that whether you're 16 or 86, you have the ability to improve as an investor and learn from your mistakes. And that's why I think trading is such an amazing career opportunity, because you don't have to be physically strong. All you need to do is press a button, and you can do it at any age. So I think as people get older, it becomes a very appealing career opportunity because it provides you with freedom and the ability to literally make money from anywhere in the world off your phone. That's why I have a trading academy now where you guys can literally join me and I can show you guys how you can make money off your phone and literally make money up and down buying every major asset in the world. And pretty soon we're going to be launching our options trading academy where you're going to be able to make money trading and buying calls and puts in the stock market. And you'll be able to make money up and down on companies like Canopy Growth, Afria. Emma C says Trump's chief health advisor, Anthony Fauci, launching investigation into origin of coronavirus, believes it's man-made bioweapon. A lot of people are saying that. I don't know. I don't have any evidence of that, but that's what a lot of rumors are that are swirling around. Some people think it came from animals. Some people think it came from a lab, a bioweapon. There's some people, conspiracy theorists, that believe it's population control. There's a lot of different opinions floating around. I don't know what the truth is. I just want to continuously report on what the media is covering and what is the biggest, most trending news of the day. Sheldon Snow says, if you like Tesla, why not buy into the metal that they need for their batteries? Great point. Robert Pick says, I agree with Tesla. Kathy Wood at ARK feels Tesla maybe at 7,000 USD by 2024. So does Ron Baron. Buy ACB. If you buy and it goes down more, it will still going back up. It's snowing here in Chicago. Thank you for your feedback, Robert. Sherry Levy says, I'm straight buying Tesla. Thank you for sharing, Tesla. Um, thank you for sharing, Sherry, your buy of Tesla. I know you've liked Tesla for a long time. Apolly Kakinen says, have you been contacted with Kevin O'Leary? No, I'm not. I don't deal with Kevin O'Leary. I'm working with a company that Kevin O'Leary is management. Two of the key guys are Kevin O'Leary and Bruce Linton. We're trying to find a time within their schedule, my schedule, to have them be, or one of them, or maybe both of them be on my show. And I've been told that it will be most likely Kevin O'Leary, but we'll see because I'm in Vancouver. So it just depends. I don't know I don't know where he lives, and I don't know his schedule, and I don't know when he's coming to Vancouver, if he comes to Vancouver. So, or it might even be a Zoom call. So we'll see. Taylor Lee says, hey, Rich, can you explain how Bitcoin halving in March will work? Is it smart to invest now or wait? Sure. So Bitcoin halving has only happened twice in its history. It will be happening May 18th, 2020. And then it will be happening two more times after that ever. So this is the third time in history it's happening. The last two times it went up 10 times after the Bitcoin halving. This is why I've been telling you guys that it's a buy for months. So what it means is Bitcoin miners mine Bitcoin and they spend electricity with their computers to mine Bitcoins. Bitcoin halving means the amount of money that they're going to be able to generate mining Bitcoin is going to get cut in half because the amount of Bitcoins that they can mine is going to get cut in half because there's only so many Bitcoins in the world. So because the amount of Bitcoins they can mine is going to get cut in half, Their revenue is going to get cut in half. So in order for a Bitcoin miner to stay profitable, the only way Bitcoin stays profitable for those miners, so they're not spending more money on electricity than they are making, is for the price of Bitcoin to double. This is why I believed when Bitcoin was at 6,000, it would have to go to at least, I predicted at least 13, 14,000 to make it profitable for miners to mine Bitcoin. So that's why I believed it was going to go up. Here we are now. We're still months away from Bitcoin halving, and Bitcoin's already gone to 10,000. So because it's a supply and demand issue, and there's more and more demand for Bitcoin because more and more people are getting interested in it, more and more people are investing in it, more and more people believe in it, what's going to happen is the supply is going down. So there's going to be less supply of Bitcoin, more demand, which is going to force the price up. And that's why you're seeing companies like Hive, Supreme is mentioning Hive. Hive is going up because they're cryptocurrency related stock. That's why you're going to see GBTC go up because they're a Bitcoin related stock. That's why you're going to see NetSense go up, another one that I interviewed, because they're a cryptocurrency related stock. David Johnstone says, I'd like to hear your speculation on who will be the next CEO for ACB. That's a good question. I honestly have no idea. It's very hard to speculate on something like that because I wouldn't be right anyways. I honestly have no idea. Everybody's liking XRP right now, eh? I invested in XRP a long time ago when they went to $3 and I didn't sell when I should have. And it's gone way down. So I've been watching XRP for years, since 2017. So I'll always have my eyes on everything in the markets, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's stocks, cannabis stocks, big board stocks, gold, Forex, options, you name it, futures. I look at it all, I invest in all. And I believe as an investor, we all need to be diversified because the more diversified we are, the more aware of the entire environment of investing we are, the better investors we become. R Star says, always take profits. I agree with you. Nicholas says, honestly, ACB was a sell when Cambatley left. Yeah, well, clearly. And Andrew Left told me that they were going to go down and that they were going to zero. I said that they would never go to zero. They're definitely not at zero, but they've been going down. So Andrew Left so far was right about Aurora. So far. R Star says XRP is a winner though. HODL. Yeah, I think XRP has a chance to be huge. Thank you guys for the 109 likes. I really appreciate you guys. All right, guys, I'm like literally losing my voice. So thank you guys for joining. I could stay longer, but it's a Sunday. So it's a beautiful sunny day. If there's any other news that's trending or breaking, I'll come live. I will be watching the coronavirus. If I see an update on the death toll and it goes higher, I'll probably break that live. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for joining. And I'll be back soon talking about more stocks and trending topics. If you're not winning, you're not watching. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. I've been doing it since 2017. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So every time we go live, every time we get updates, hit that bell for notifications. So every time we go live, every time we get updates, you get access to it first. We try to bring you guys the news first, the most trending topics of the day. This is Rich from Rich TV Live, and I'm out. Thank you guys. Peace. Enjoy your weekends and have a great trading day tomorrow, everybody.